Hi there, Aron. My name is Ellen. I'll be correcting this essay. Let's take a look at what you have sent us. This is about ex-prisoners. Let's see what you wrote. Many people believed that the piece of advice from people who have experience in the world of crime could teach another person effectively, particularly for young people. However, other people argue that allow them to talk to their children could give detrimental effect for their future. In this essay, I argue that it is beneficial if some people who have been in prison become good citizens later are the best people to talk to teenagers about the dangers of committing a crime, since people tend to put their trust to someone who have experience in a particular field, especially about hindsight, provided they have a great skill, communication to talk. Okay, Aron, what I'm finding here is grammatical mistakes that create some problems. Okay, let's see. Pretty much the whole thing had some grammatical problems. So many people believe that advice from people who have experience in the world of crime could teach others effectively, particularly young people. Full stop. However, other people argue that allowing them to talk to their children could be detrimental for their future. In this essay, I would argue that it is beneficial if some people who have been in prison and become good citizens talk to teenagers about the dangers of committing a crime, since people tend to put their trust in those who have experience in a particular field. Full stop. Full stop. Okay? And then the rest of it, has some grammatical problems. So that's how I would do this. Let's move on. Experiences are the real teacher that could inspire the teenagers to avoid the dark side of the world. Many students in junior or senior high school are just learning to obey all the regulations from government without knowing exactly the reason why they do so. The situation has a great chance to become an issue when they complete their education and are living in post-school life. The real problems, such as low income, heavy workloads, conflict with coworkers or employers, bad relations with their families, could lead them to commit a crime. By contrast, having education from a good person with real experience could help them to understand the critical, careful with your spelling, things in order to avoid the crime world or criminal world. Okay, so you can see that I had to correct a lot here in terms of your grammar. I would also tell you that you didn't really get to the point of what we're looking for here until that very end of the sentence. So you gave us a lot of background information about, like young people working and some of the problems they have. None of this had anything to do, though, with what you were asked. And you were asked to talk about why are ex-criminals the best people to talk about this issue. So that in and of itself is basically making a comparison. Best compared to whom? Okay, so what you wanted to talk about this in this paragraph was the criminals and not the young people. Okay, not why they're following regulations and their post-school life. For me, a lot of this was not relevant. So you wanted instead to talk about why you think these people are the best people to talk to youngsters. Okay, with reasons, with examples, and so forth. Okay, so let's see. Good skills of communication are needed by people who have been in prison if they want real benefits. I don't understand this. Real benefit for give some wisdom to teenagers. The young people have a special characteristic when consuming new information. No A. They are probably easy to distract. In general, the teacher from first and secondary education are trained with some range of communication skills before they are involved in learning activities. Hence, in order to get real benefit, people who have experienced jail, no in, must have good communication skills before they give pieces of advice to the teenagers. Okay, again, I felt a lot of this was not relevant. All right. You never told us in your body. Did you tell us? You said they have great communication skills. Yeah, but I didn't really understand this sentence, so that made it kind of difficult to follow. Um, so maybe what you meant to say here is, however, this is only effective if the ex-criminals have great communication skills. Then that would have made sense, okay? But the way it was written, it was kind of confusing. It's what I was telling you that, it creates some difficulty in understanding what you're trying to say. So if it had been written more correctly, then I would have said, okay, yes, you've got this caveat, this warning that, yeah, they would be good, but only if they have this kind of skill, okay? So I would have been okay with that. In general, though, I do think that this needs a lot of work with the task achievement, making sure that you're answering the question that they've asked you and not something just kind of sort of related to the topic. So this is what I'd like us to work on together if we continue working together. Let's see what you wrote in your conclusion this so we can wrap this up. In conclusion, in this essay, I would argue that allowing good citizens that have experience in the crime world to talk to teenagers about the dangers of committing a crime. All right, you've got a grammar problem here. I would argue in favor of allowing good citizens that have experience in the crime world to talk to teenagers about the dangers of committing crime, as they could be a real teacher because of their experience, which would show real disadvantages to teenagers provided they could talk to them effectively. No in. All right, this sentence is really problematic because it's 4 lines long. It's one sentence. You really needed to break it down into smaller parts that would have been more manageable and that probably would have had fewer mistakes. Okay, when you write sentences that are so long, it becomes really easy to make a mistake. So definitely split them up. You don't want to get into the third line. That's pretty much your hint that you've written too much in one sentence. Okay, so basically, Aron, I want to encourage you to sign up for the online course. I think that the structure and the information and everything that is involved in it is really, really, really going to benefit you. It's going to just kind of revamp the way you write, and I think it's going to be a wonderful resource for you. And then, of course, you'll get to do more essay corrections with me, so we can continue to progress and help you improve so you can get the score you need, okay? So I'm hoping that we can do that. I'm hoping that we'll see more work from you. So thank you for sending this in, and I want to wish you tons of luck.